Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 6, texts 20 and 21. 20 I will read myself. There is no purport to these words. Go Punargo Rajasarbhakam Raksham Chakruscha Shakrita Dvadashangeshu Namabihi. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhajcharana Arvind, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The child was thoroughly washed with cow urine and then smeared with the dust raised by the movements of the cows. Then different names of the Lord were applied with cow dung on the 12 different parts of his body, beginning with the forehead as done in applying tilaka. In this way, the child was given protection. Text 21. Gopyaha Samprishta Salilaha Gopya Samprishta Salila Angesho Karayoho Pritak Angeshu Karayo Pritak Nyasya Atmani Atha Balasya Nyasyaatmanyatha Balasya Bijanyasam Akurvata Bijanyasam Akurvata Gopyasam Sprishta Salila Angeshu Karayo Pritak Nyasyatmanyata Bhalasya Bijanyasam Akurvata Gopya Samsprishta Salila Angeshu Karayo Pritak Nyasyatmanyata Bhalasya Bijanyasam Akurvata. Gopyaha, the gopis, Samsprishta Salilaha, touching a cup of water and drinking. Angesho, on their bodies. Karayoho, on their two hands. Prithak, separately. Nyasya, after placing the letters of the mantra. Atmani, on their own. Atha, then. Balasya, of the child. Bijanyasam, the process of mantra nyasa. Akurvata, executed. Translation, purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhajcharana Arvinda, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. The gopis first executed the process of achamana, drinking a sip of water from the right hand. They purified their bodies and hands with the nyasa mantra and then applied the same mantra upon the body of the child. Can kindly repeat the translation? The gopis first executed the process of achamana, drinking a sip of water from the right hand. They purified their bodies and hands with the nyasa mantra and then applied the same mantra upon the body of the child. Purport. Nyasa mantra includes achamana or first drinking a sip of water kept in the right hand. There are different Vishnu mantras to purify the body. The gopis, and in fact any householders, knew the process for being purified by chanting Vedic hymns. The gopis executed this process first to purify themselves and then to purify the child Krishna. One executes the process of Anganyasa and Karanyasa simply by drinking a little sip of water and chanting the mantra. The mantra is preceded with the first letter of the name, followed by Anuswara and the word Namaha. Namo Jastamangri Avyad Mammano Manimams Tamajanuni Avyad, and so on. By losing Indian culture, Indian householders have forgotten how to execute the Anganyasa and are simply busy in sense gratification without any advanced knowledge of human civilization. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translations to Canto 10, Chapter 6, texts 20 and 21 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. When the gopis found that Lord Krishna is safe from the disturbance caused by Putana, immediately for the protection of this child Krishna, according to the gopis, for the protection of the child Krishna, because Krishna is the Supreme Lord, He is giving protection to everyone. Krishna is saying to the whole world, take my shelter, I will give you protection. But here gopis are thinking of the protection of Krishna. This is because of Vatsalya Rasa. They're all in the mood of serving the Lord as one's child. Therefore, they are wanting protection for baby Krishna. This is a super excellent stage in bhakti and cannot be imitated. So the gopis, Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they're all considering Krishna not as a baby, not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in all potencies, all the time. That was what we discussed last time. Prabhupada explains that. God is always God, with full potencies, all the time. He does not have to acquire any potency. All the potencies reside in Him, are sheltered by Him. Rather, any potency, any power which is displayed by anyone is simply the grace of the Lord. The Lord has bestowed such power upon somebody. But the gopis and Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, they are wanting to serve the Lord in the mood of Vatsalya Rasa, the Lord has facilitated that. Therefore, in that mood, they are considering a child needs protection. That too, such a untoward incident had taken place. They thought that one nice, young, beautiful gopi had come to feed our child Krishna. But it turned out to be a witch, a demoness. They got scared. But somehow they saw that Krishna is safe. So they took the child away from the demoness. And what did they do for protection for child Krishna? It's very interesting. Gomutrena snapayitva. The child was thoroughly washed with gomutra, cow urine, for Krishna's protection. Something, Bhagavatam is full of revolutionary information which challenges the modern scientists. Every verse, that's why the beginning of Bhagavatam it said, Janataga Viplavaha is meant to create a revolution, but revolution in a different sense. Generally we hear of the word revolution, we get scared. Let's close our doors and go inside the house. That's what, because revolution means always fighting and dharna, guns and this and that. But Bhagavatam is presenting a different kind of revolution for good. So here we see the different Vedic practices which Prabhupada actually laments in the purport. In the next verse we will see that. Householders, the modern civilization, they've forgotten so many interesting techniques. We've forgotten so many things and we're creating so many artificial concocted systems of protection, of medication and so on and so forth. Here we see for protecting oneself, cow urine is so useful. Cow urine we thought so far only for purification. But here we see washing a child with cow urine also offers the child complete protection. Where do you get this idea from? From Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada says these ideas are well known to even forget Brahmanas or saintly persons, even householders knew this. And gopis were not, in that sense, educated in the Vedas. Yet they knew how to give protection to a child. So, Gomutrena snapayatva, the child was immediately washed with cow urine to ward off all contaminations and bad evils. Then, Punargo Rajasa Arbhakam. Then, they smeared this baby Krishna with Go Rajasa, the dust of the cow's feet. We take the dust of Krishna's feet, and here Krishna is being smeared with the dust of the cows. See, so how important is cows, you can just imagine, in the human society. Even for bathing the Lord, cow urine is used, and the dust raised from the movements of the cow, Go Rajasa Arbakam, was smeared on Krishna's body. Then, Raksham Chakruhu, to give protection to the child, Shakrita. Shakrita means cow dung. They used cow dung also. How did they use cow dung? Cow urine, they washed the child's body. And the dust of the cow, they smeared Krishna's body, baby Krishna's body. Then, Shakrita, the cow dung, how did they use that? In offering protection to the baby Krishna. Dvadasha Angeshu Namabihi. They used cow dung as the ingredient for applying tilaka on Krishna's 12 bodily parts. Prabhupada says, exactly as it is done in applying tilaka. In the translation, Prabhupada says, the different names of the Lord were applied with cow dung on 12 different parts of his body. Beginning with the forehead, Om Keshavaya Namaha, like that. So instead of Gopi Chandana, cow dung was used. And then it was smeared on forehead, navel, chest, on the throat, then right side of the belly, then on the right arm, right shoulder, then left side of the belly, left arm, left shoulder, then back side of the top portion, just below the neck, and just little on the spine, the last part. So 12 parts of the body. So Krishna's different bodily parts were applied with cow dung. And Raksham Chakruhu. In this way, the child was given protection. So much benefits are there from the cow. Apart from health benefits, nutritional benefits, so purification benefits, protection benefits. So 4 level benefits can be received from the cow. At least I am saying. In the very sight of the cow is purifying. Actually, you can speak unlimited about this cow, which is so dear to Krishna. One of the constant companion of Krishna is the flute and the cow or a calf. Always Krishna is seen with cows or calves. As we all know, the spiritual world is also called. See, Vaikuntha is Vishnu Loka, but Krishna Loka is called not Krishna Loka. It's also called Krishna Loka, but another name is called Goloka, the world of cows. Actually, there are 2 interesting things to note here, which fortunately in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara and in ISKCON, even the Vedic culture, it's given a lot of importance. Cow and Tulasi. The spiritual world is called, that to the highest spiritual world, highest planet in the spiritual world, is called Goloka, Krishna Loka, where Krishna personally resides. It is also called Goloka Vrindavana, the world of Tulusis. Not one Tulsi. Sometimes in the house we have one Tulsi plant. It's not one Tulsi. It's a planet of Tulusis and planet of cows. We have a planet filled with Tulusis and cows. That is Krishna's, the Supreme Lord's own planet. How special it is. Very interesting, right? Very revolutionary. This is another revolutionary idea from the scriptures. So, cows are so important, and it is described in many Puranas by Vyasadeva. Very sight of the cow is very purifying. The dust of the cow is very purifying. We see, even the time of birth of the Lord, he is bathed with Panchamrit and Panchagavya. Even sometimes Acharyas are bathed during their birth. Like Sripad Madhvacharya, when he was born, he was bathed in Panchamrit and Panchagavya. They are special souls. And in Ayurveda, we know enough research is being done, how much it is useful for keeping one's body pure, even grossly. And of course, subtly and spiritually also. Here we see a lot of scientific research is being done. For example, cow urine. We'll just discuss about 3 benefits of cow urine. It's from a scientific paper. That is why science should corroborate Shastra. Then such science is a valid science. Otherwise, it is speculation. If science is not in line with Shastra, it is called speculation. And if Shastra is not scientific, it is called sentiment. Sentimental. So both should complement each other, corroborate each other. And it will. If it is really science, it will be as per Shastra. If it is really Shastra, it will also be scientific. Can't be unscientific. This is discussed in the very first verse of Bhagavad Gita and in the Mahabharata beginning. This point is being discussed. So one of the very important benefits of cow urine is it has got bioenhancer properties. What is that? Bioenhancer means it can increase the effectiveness of drugs and nutrients under use. It's like recently, some years back, we are having this Akshaya Patra program and we are feeding a nutritious hot meal to the needy children. So some controversy was there that Akshaya Patra food is not very nutritious, or if it is nutritious, it lacks some essential ingredients wherein the body can absorb and assimilate such nutritious food. So some argument was there like that. So then we from Akshaya Patra Foundation had sent our food samples to CFTRI and even NIN in Hyderabad. CFTRI is in Mysore, that food nutritional experts, and National Institute of Nutrition, that's in Hyderabad. These are two top institutes in the country which will certify the nutrients and calorific value, energy value of a particular food. Scientifically, they will study and they will give a report. So then they gave a reports from our food samples that there are so many ingredients in your food which actually does that work. Many spices. Because we were not giving onion garlic. So they said onion garlic is very important in the food because even though you may eat, if the body is to absorb it, you require onion. Then only the body will absorb it. It will assimilate. Otherwise it is waste. It will just go to the drains. It's a good point. It's a valid point. It is a fact. We don't deny. Similarly, so we sent our food samples. Then the safety said, Swamiji, 20 more items are there in your recipe on almost on a daily basis which you're using also does the same job, just not onion. All the spices what you use, for example, all the spices also does the same job of assimilating the food, the nutrition in the food into the body, into the blood. They're given one scientific report. See? So like that, cow urine can increase the effectiveness of certain drugs and nutrients. There's so many such things are there. If even medicine has to work, medicine itself will work. Sometimes medicine itself also requires support for it to become more effective when added with something. And that is cow urine. That is why in the preparation of some of the Ayurvedic drugs and medicines, cow urine is used in preparation of a medicine to make it more effective. This is exactly the same thing. Ayurvedic people know this. Today science also is accepting. Interestingly, it is said that cow urine, this is particularly noted in combination with antibiotics. Addition of cow urine in drugs, certain, not all drugs, certain drugs and nutrients. So, in combination with antibiotics and anti-cancer agents. Sometimes if you want to cure cancer, the medication used in cancer also has an element of cow urine. Some of the drugs has cow urine. So, that means if somebody drinks little cow urine daily, actually he'll not get cancer. He'll not get cancer. Okay, next. Then, cow urine has got antioxidant and antibacterial activity. So studies have demonstrated that cow urine exhibits significant antioxidant properties and antibacterial effects against various pathogens, suggesting its potential in managing infections. So somebody takes little, like Charnamrit, you take little cow urine, one sip of cow urine daily, actually you will not get any infection. This is viral fever, which is now very common, isn't it? Bacteria, you will become immune to all bacterial infections and pathogenic infections and viral infections. In the Vedic times, people knew this. That's why you see that immunity is so strong. Immunity is so high. Like one devotee posted recently that a quote from Prabhupada, how cow milk is so important. You should drink volumes of cow milk because it also enhances the immunity so high. Today people, why we regularly fall sick? Because immunity is down. So by drinking cow milk, actually our immunity is built up to a very high extent. Same thing with many ingredients in our food. Only we should know how to choose our food. So not only for physical strength, actually that's why we discuss in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ayu Sattva Bala Arogya. Sukha Priti Vivardhana, 7 effects of sattvic food. But you should know what kind of food to choose. Ayuhu, food means it should increase ayu, not reduce ayu. Increase your lifespan. Enhance your prana. By eating food, you can't become weak. By eating food, actually, you should become strong. Your immunity must increase. Ayuhu. Sattva means it should also purify. See, foods also, there are foods which contaminate your physical body also, your mental state of consciousness also. There are foods which will purify your physical body and even your mental state of consciousness. And they are sattvic foods. Then what to speak of Krishna Prasadam? How much more potency it will have? Even material sattvic food can purify your consciousness. That's what Krishna is in the Bhagavad Gita. Sattvam. One of the qualities of eating sattvic food is it purifies one's existence. Obviously, Krishna Prasadam is million times more potential to purify in all round level, physical, mental, spiritual. Bala, Krishna is saying it should give you strength, physical strength. Arogya, it should give you good health. Apart from that, sukha, it's very nice eating sattvic food. Yeah. See, Rajasic food you eat, for example, Guntur chili you eat, actually literally you cry also. So, stomach is also crying inside. Here also will crying. Sometimes when we eat a very strong, pungent thing, to satisfy, we'll say, okay, put sweet immediately. You satisfy your tongue. Sometimes we put ghee also to satisfy the tongue. But the stomach, the intestinal lines are not pacified by that. It will be burning. It will be eaten away. Burning is literally burning only. And when you burn, what happens? It is eaten off, not right? It is worn off. Literally it happens. There's a lining in the stomach. All that thing will be worn out. Anyway, so that's why sattvic food is sukha. It's very nice. You feel very nice after a sattvic meal. And after Krishna Prasadam, that's why you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is described that devotees while eating prasadam, because eating prasadam is ecstasy. Sankirtan brings ecstasy, Krishna consciousness brings ecstasy. Krishna Prasadam, any activity in Krishna consciousness is simply ecstatic. This is actually Krishna conscious life. Everything is ecstatic. Eating prasadam is ecstasy, singing is ecstasy, working is ecstasy, everything is ecstasy. So therefore, the devotees, if you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, naturally, the natural effect of honoring prasadam, with no prompt, suddenly they'll say, Hari Bol, they'll say. So in between few times they will say, it is not a procedure. Okay, every 5 minutes, okay, keep the watch clock and every 5 minutes like a prompt, you do. It's not like that. It is a natural ecstasy. Without being prompted, suddenly he'll say, Hari Bol, he'll say. In the middle of eating prasadam. Sukha and Preeti, it is very pleasing. See, you don't cry when you eat a sattvic meal, right? But Andhra meal you eat, you will cry, right? Surely. When you are crying, the stomach is also crying. So like that. Preeti, Vivardhanaha. These things all expand. Sukha and Preeti expands. Vivardhanaha, Krishna is saying. Anyway, so like that. So like that, this cow is such a wonderful animal. It is so useful. The very sight of the cow is so nice. Not ferocious like the lion and tiger. Get scared even the very sight. Cow is so docile, so nice to see. So antioxidant and antibacterial activity. So this cow urine has got such effects that you can be free from all bacterial infection, viral infection, everything. Then the third thing is immunomodulatory effects cow urine has got. What is that? It can stimulate your immune system, bring it back to work. It can activate your immune system. Just one sip, just like we take one drop of charnamrit, like that, one sip of cow urine every day. It will even activate your immune system, which has become dead. And when immune system starts running, then digestion becomes very easy. Digestion becomes very easy. We always have problem with digestion, right? Because the immune system is not functioning and the Agni is also not functioning. So how to activate that? Of course, immune system also works for protecting us from becoming infected, becoming sick, becoming, uh, uh, vulnerable to diseases. The immune system will protect us. So it will increase the immunology in our body. So you don't have to meet any immunologist anymore after that. The 3 effects of cow urine. Anyway, so in the Vedic culture, these things are all well-known things. Therefore, they know, apart from the physical strength, it is also purifying. It is also bringing about a protection to the individual who applies these things to himself. And the gopis knew this. Therefore, they did these things to baby Krishna, seeking the child's protection. Then, another interesting thing is explained in text 21. Gopyas samsprishta salila. They executed the process of achamana. So even gopis, they didn't go to Gurukula, nor they were highly educated. They were simple village women. Yet, they knew the process of achamana. And today, even the most educated person apparently might not even heard the name achamana in his life. And the gopis knew the very first thing to do in danger is achamana. And just not achamana. Achamana is the pre-process for what? For the purpose of protecting oneself by chanting Vishnu mantra and sipping the water. Chanting Vishnu mantra and sipping the water. Then the water acquires potency. Basically, it's invoking of potency into the elements. Material elements are inert. Unless Vishnu enters, it becomes activated and potential. That's what happens originally in the creation. Mahavishnu breathes. And from his skin pores, many universes are emanating. Even from his nostrils also many universes are emanating. So therefore, from 2 channels, the universes are coming out from Mahavishnu's body. One is from his nostrils, one is from his skin pores. Simultaneously, universes are coming out. See, originally, the seed form of universe has originated from Vishnu, the original life. Then, to further activate the individual universes for its growth, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu enters. Then only the universe starts growing, developing rather. Just like this body also, unless the spirit soul enters, the body will not develop. We say sometimes, sadly, child is born dead. Sorry. Sometimes the doctor will tell a mother, a father with a lot of heavy heart, cannot tell, but what to do? The child is born dead. What do you mean by born dead? See the contradictory terms. Born, dead. Birth, death. Death was born with death. Death was born with birth itself. Born dead. What do you mean? Because the soul failed to take shelter in the body. The body will not grow. You can keep that body any number of years. It will not grow anymore. But we have grown, you see. The same body we have grown. We are adults now. So, unless the spirit enters, there is no development of matter. So, therefore, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, the supreme spirit, original spirit, enters every universe and then develops. So, even matter gets its potency from Vishnu. This is the proof. Therefore, every material element also is potent has got potency, but the potency is dormant. If the dormant potency has to awaken, Vishnu has to activate it. Vishnu has to enter. That is why Andhantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastam. Otherwise, each material element has a special feature, but that feature will not be highlighted if Vishnu does not bless even material ingredient, material element. It is Vishnu's blessings. So, when Vishnu enters, matter gets its potency to act in a particular way as it is designed for. A crude example can be given in this regard. This is a mobile instrument, where this is mobile, right? Everything is matter here, and so many circuits are there. Unless the electronic engineer puts his hand and puts all of them together and activates it, it is a dead instrument. And after that, electronic person manufactures and puts the product on sale. Then human being Jiva, we have to put the battery and activate it, switch on, switch off. Human being touch is needed. So, this Nyasa mantra is exactly that. Exactly that. Modern science has no idea about. Proper explanation. See, gopis knew. We'll come to that. So, just sipping little water, chanting Vishnu mantra. There are other mantras also, but the most effective of all of them is Vishnu mantra. Like there is one reference in the first canto of Bhagavatam itself, how Ashwatthama, just by sipping water and chanting a mantra, he invoked Brahmastra and potency into the arrow. Arrow is just one iron piece with some log of wood attached to it. That's all. How can there be universal fire? Fire at the time of destruction of the universe, that's called Brahmastra. Fire which is manifest at the time of dissolution of the universe, that much amount of fire is there in Brahmastra, in one small arrow like this. How that much fire can be invoked and conserved in this small arrow? Yes, it's a potency of mantra. It can do that. And when released, so we talk about fission and fusion. Today even science has come to that point recently. Millions of years back we knew that. At least 5,000 years back Ashwatthama knew that. So how can you contradict Vedic explanations? Conserving energy, fusion of energy, by chanting the mantra. Invoking the Brahmastra is fusion, consolidating all the energies of fire. Then releasing is another mantra, it's called fission, where you blast the energy. Ashwatthama did that. But that was material. Then how much more potency spiritually? Because spirit is the cause of matter. Spirit is the cause of matter. How much more spiritual mantras will have potency? Therefore, this Nyasa mantra, Prabhupada says, primarily Nyasa mantra is used to spiritualize senses and oneself. Generally, in our Puja Vidhana, we do Nyasa mantras. We apply Nyasa mantra before we worship Krishna. We worship Nyasa mantra upon our bodily parts, before we actually worship Krishna. Nyasa mantra is actually a way of purifying initially and then spiritualizing the physical, gross material senses to qualify it to worship Krishna. Because Krishna is Brahman, Brahma Padartha, Brahman substance. This is Jada substance. How can this Jada worship Brahman? Not possible. So therefore, this has to be purified. So Nyasa mantra is used to purify and this Jada to bring it to the point of Brahman, spiritualize it, to become eligible to worship the Parabrahman. That is the purpose of Nyasa mantra. And there are two types of Nyasa mantra. Prabhupada explains that also. Anganyasa and Karunya. Karunya is the purification applied on the hands. Anganyasa is the purification applied on the body. And there are different mantras in this regard. I will not chant the particular mantras, but I will tell. Like for example, there is one. The Bija mantra I may not be able to chant. But for example, Angushtabhyam Namaha. So the procedure is you take the thumb and then you move it around your forefinger, then around from the base to the tip. Again, there are particular mantras for each of them. Again, use the thumb to move on the finger, middle finger, then on the ring finger, and then the little finger. So these are different. There are different mantras for different purifications, forms of purification, and then Karatala Kara Prishtabhyam Phat. So that we do like this. Then so like this we do. These are different forms of purification. Nyasa, Anga. This is called Karanyasa. It's all connected with hand, right? The Karanyasa. Then there's the Anganyasa, where we touch the heart, then the Shika, then the eyes, like this. Different methods, and then the Shika we touch to protect ourselves and purify ourselves. So, the gopis knew these techniques to give protection to child Krishna. So first they apply this Anga and Karanyasa upon themselves, then they apply this on baby Krishna also. But there are different other mantras for applying it to the Lord. Just like time of installation, time of Prana Pratishtha, we apply it on the deity also. This Nyasa mantras. Anyway, so Prabhupada says, primarily, there are two things. One is sound form. This Nyasa has two parts. One is the sound form of application. One more is using Vishnu names. Two parts are there. Here, Prabhupada explains about there are different Vishnu mantras to purify the body, referring to the Nyasa mantra. You chant Vishnu's name and then a particular mantra for that. We will see that actually all that mantras will be listed in the upcoming verses. Gopis have chanted all these exact verses. Prabhupada quoted one verse in today's purport. Avyad ajo angri manimam stava janu athoru. So may Aja protect the child's angry feet. Maniman, may Lord Maniman protect the child's knees. Like that, the list goes on. By invoking Vishnu in the mantra, using Nyasa mantra process. But if you can't do any of these things, the simplest is you chant Hare Krishna directly. Hare Krishna will give you the benefit of applying all these Nyasa mantras. Even if one does not know these mantras. It's a universal mantra, it's an all-in-one mantra, all-inclusive mantra. So with the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whenever we are in danger or in difficulty or in an awkward situation, chant Hare Krishna loudly. It works. It works. So simply by invoking or calling out Vishnu's name, one can be assured of complete protection of Vishnu or Vishnu's representative. One of them will come for your rescue, for sure. Either Lord will come directly or Lord will send a representative for your protection. Stop here. Granthanath Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.